Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. Hi, I'm spiritual medium Kellee White, and welcome to Ask Me Anything. And today is November 3rd, 2022. And I want to say hi to everybody. Hi, Sarah Stone. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Julie. Thanks for welcoming me back. I really appreciate it. It has been it's been a something kind of a last 3 months. So this is my first show back, literally in almost 3 months. So I couldn't be happier, actually. Hi, Nettie. Oh, hi, Tracy. That's so sweet. Yay. I miss you guys too. And Tracy, the weather has been pretty nice, I have to say. In the Midwest here, it's been pretty nice. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Penny. Hi, Kate. Hi, Lisa from Brisbane. Wow. Hi, Connie. She says hi to you too, Renee. Hi, Amber and Linda. Hi, Karen. Oh, so sweet, honey. Hi, Linda. Hi, Mel. Hi, Lori. Hi, Lori. So this has been quite a time period for me. And I know I have lots of astrology to talk about. How's everybody been doing with the astrology? This has been a really, really difficult, challenging time. Since August, frankly, it's been a really challenging time. And so I'm going to talk about that. And we've got a lot of things to say about this energy. So how about we just go into the energy of the astrology? And I'm talking Vedic astrology when I talk astrology. So Vedic astrology is really where my heart goes with astrology. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. And of course, I'll answer as many questions as I can, and we'll do messages from the guides and talking to heaven cards. So this will be a fun night. Oh, hi, Isabel. Thank you. Thursday nights. I'm so glad. And I know there's a baseball game because I know my husband's watching it. And I know there's a baseball game going on right now. Oh, Amy, you had a hysterectomy Friday? Wow. Ready to feel better for sure. Wow. That's huge. Wow. Jane, you say it feels like a spin cycle for sure, right? Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh. Jonna from Denver. Hi there. Hi, Judy Friedman. By the way, most wonderful healer, Judy Friedman, who needs some healing blessings right now for her because I know she wasn't feeling very well today. But Judy, you really helped me a lot during this last 3-month period. I mean, truly, you're an angel, no doubt about it. So, this has been a really intense time. And I thought I'd talk about it astrologically as we are right now in between 2 eclipses. So the first one was October 25th, and it was a solar eclipse. And that eclipse, the eclipse energy lasts for 6 months. So it may happen on a certain date, but we're talking 6 months from now, you'll be feeling this energy. This solar eclipse on October 25th was about relationships. And it was about if they're like karmic relationships. And by the way, it doesn't have to be a love relationship. It can be a business relationship too, where it's just time to let go. Because you're going to see a lot of change coming up. A lot of change if you haven't felt it already. But this new lunar eclipse we're going to talk about, because that's about ourselves. It's about our individually how we feel. So we'll talk about that. But I wanted to start with the beginning. I mean, November is really a really challenging time because it's all about growth of our soul. And I'm all about the soul's growth. Why did we come here? We came here for our soul to grow. And guess what? This is the time it's going to happen. This is really a powerful time because for this month, not only do we have this fierce lunar eclipse, I mean, it's fierce and it's in Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. Okay. Mars is retrograde, doesn't like to be in retrograde, can't stand to be in retrograde. And it's currently in Gemini retrograde Mars, which means watch your speaking, watch your communication, watch your temper. This is going to be a time for that for months, actually, till like mid-January, it's retrograde. Then later this month, Mars retrograde goes into Taurus. So it makes it really powerful. It's a very powerful time. Also, let's not forget this. Uranus is also still retrograde in Aries, ruled by Mars. Neptune is still retrograde in Aquarius. This is a lot of retrograde. Retrograde also means the planets, they don't go backwards, but they really slow down in their power. And when I'm finished with the astrology, before I finish with the astrology, I want to talk about Chiron, because Chiron is the wounded healer, and that's retrograde. And that has affected many healers that I know. So we're going to talk about that. But this month is very important because all zodiac signs, I don't care what sign you are, by the end of the month, everybody's going to experience some significant shift here. It could be in the way you think. It could be in the way your new belief system. It could be in a big change. Something happens. And the reason it does is because Jupiter goes direct. It's been retrograde for several months, and it goes direct on the November 24th. And it's in Pisces. Again, I'm doing Vedic astrology. And it goes direct in Pisces on the 24th. And this happens only every 12 years. And this once in a 12-year event of Jupiter in Pisces happens at the same time as a once in a 29-year event of Saturn in Capricorn. Now, they're both considered, Saturn and Jupiter are considered social planets, meaning they bring change to the world. Okay. The last time that Saturn and Jupiter were in these aspects was in 1963. If you look back at 1963, what happened in November? It's a pretty rough time. Kennedy was assassinated. So it changed all of our lives. If you may remember, anybody that was alive, I mean, I was 6 and I remember my mom crying. It was a really rough time and the whole world changed, really. So the next time this happens again won't be until 2050. So this is a very powerful time. And what it means too is that when we talk about Jupiter and Saturn, these planets are responsible for our karma and our dharma. And our karma is like our day-to-day actions and the balance of our karma. But our dharma is why we incarnated. And what happens is your karma gets so messed up and twisted that you never get to do your dharmic work because you're on that spin cycle. You know, you're constantly on this spin of, well, he did this and she did this and I'm wounded and all this stuff. And I really kind of want to scream, you know, get over it now. Like really work through your stuff, because this is such a powerful time right now to take that, to go in, to be able to do your dharmic work. So it's a really important time. So having said all of that, on November 8th, we have the full moon lunar eclipse. Now, James and I are talking about this on Monday. And by the way, Monday, we're doing a show on totems. So that's going to be really fun. But on November 8th is the full moon eclipse. At the same time, the moon is also conjunct Uranus. And conjunct means next to, on top of, like feeling it completely the same degree. And so I'm going to say this, expect unexpected changes, because in the United States, that's an election day for us. And that could see the world really change. A lot of change can happen from this. And again, eclipse energy lasts for 6 months. So I know that somebody asked me about 2023. And if we talk about now for 6 months, we've got 6 months of some heavy energy. So I'm going to say that the world goes kind of topsy-turvy yet again, and kind of starts to come out of it probably in about 6 months in 2023. But anyway, and this eclipse will be seen all over. You can see it in Europe and Asia, Australia, you'll see it, the Pacific, North America, South America. So we'll talk about that on Monday's show with Both Sides Now and Beyond with James. But also on November 8th, Mercury, the fastest planet, goes Cassini. Cassini is when the sun and a planet, which happens to be Mercury, line up together. They align with the sun. And the sun brightens everything. It brightens Mercury at this point. And Mercury is all about communication also, right? And it brings this new cycle of awareness. So I suspect it's such a powerful day on November 8th. I think it just brings a lot of change in the world. Could it happen that day? You bet. It actually could happen that day because that's an election day on top of everything else. So this is a really great time during this lunar eclipse to maybe do some sort of a small ritual that you would have done, like maybe light a candle, write down your intention. As I said on Monday's show, I said, write down the intention of what it is you want to clear up in your life, really. And then light a candle or light it and, burn it and let that go, because this is a time to release old energy. Okay. So this is also, so that's on the 8th. On November 11th, Venus goes into Scorpio, and Venus rules relationships and love. And Scorpio is not only ruled by Pluto, which it is, but it's also ruled by Mars. Okay, so maybe you'll see your relationships in a new light. That's a possibility. During this time period, if you have superficial relationships, it's not going to work, because you're going to want to connect with people that are, like at the same level that you were. So it's going to be a really interesting time. And that lasts November 11th to December 5th. And that's Venus into Scorpio. That's going to be pretty, I'm going to say, intense. I mean, really. November 13th, Mars, who is retrograde, goes from Gemini to Taurus. At this point, this is after the eclipse, I think that Taurus is all about being stubborn, and it's also financial and security. And the last time this actually happened was in 2008, and then the time before that was 1990 and 1991. So this could cause a lot of tension and a recession. I mean, this is a really intense energy. I really want everybody to watch their energy for the next several weeks. Really think first before you speak. Think first before you drive. Pay attention driving, because this is a very intense time. And we're headed into the intensity of it in the next few days. I mean, it's already an intense time. And let's see, another big day is to watch is November 19th. And that's Mars retrograde again, squaring Neptune. And Neptune is retrograde. So that could find us off track somehow. That's on the 19th. And so it's just best, if you can, during these periods of time, to rest, to meditate, to take care of yourself. Be really good to do. And then we'll talk about on November 24th, Jupiter finally goes direct in Pisces. And that's where we get to finally move forward. But it's this next few weeks that are very challenging. Challenging. It's a really big time for reflection. You want to do as much reflection as you possibly can, because it's an intense time. Susie Wright says, "Hi, Kellee. I met someone today who also had a botched surgery. What's going on?" So I'm glad you said that. I'm sorry for your friend. Yeah, botched surgery sucks. But that's a tough one. But I do want to talk about something also that I think is really important, and that's the Chiron retrograde. So Chiron, you've heard me talk about Chiron. It's not really used in Vedic astrology that much. They don't talk about it, but I talk about it because Chiron is the wounded healer, and it's an asteroid that is between Uranus and Saturn. And it's about deep wounds. And we all come in with wounds. I mean, from lifetimes after lifetimes, and then this lifetime, we come in with wounds. This is a lifetime we've come to clear up our wounds, okay? And Rumi, the poet Rumi, says the wound is where the light enters you. And I love that, because I think that's so true. And while you can't undo the wounding of yourself, you can't undo it, but the pains of that wound really help shape the person and the people that we've become, right? So in mythology, Chiron was a healer who ironically could not heal himself. It's true. And so Chiron reflects your deepest traumas and your wounds, and maybe your insecurities too. So Chiron, because it's retrograde right now, I want to talk about the healers that I know that have had all kinds of issues. And first, I want to start with a story that happened to me years ago, 20 years ago. I was in Denver at the airport, and out of the blue, this African American young gay man came up to me out of the blue. I was ordering some coffee, actually, and he said, "You're a healer, aren't you?" And I was stunned. And I said, "Well, I'm not that I'm aware of, you know." And he said, "Oh no," he said, "You're a healer." He said, "I can spot a healer." And I said, "You can?" And he said, "Yes." And he said, "My name is Michael." And he said, "I can spot a healer." I said, "Oh, okay." But I wasn't afraid of this man. He was actually very kind and he had lovely energy. And I ordered my coffee, and the woman said, "Oh, I'll bring it to the table." So he walked over to the table with me, and we sat down and we started talking about healing. He told me he had been a healer, he was a healer, and we're having this lovely conversation. And I said to him, "What happens," out of the blue, I said, "What happens to healers? Who heals the healers?" And he said, "Only you would ask that question." And I remember thinking, only I would ask that question. It's as if he said it as if he knew me. And I said, "Why do you, only I would ask that question?" And he said, "Yes." He said, "Only you would ask that question." And right then, the waitress brought my coffee and put it down. And I went like this, "Oh, thank you." And I turned around and he was gone. So I never forgot that, because how could I? But because when he said his name was Michael, I thought, oh my God, I wonder if that was a version of Archangel Michael that had just walked in at that moment to tell me this. And I never forgot that story. And the reason it's important now is I'm watching all of these healers have a lot of trouble, a lot of trouble. I mean, I was almost taken out in the hospital. It was rough. That was really rough what I went through. And I'm grateful beyond to be alive and to be able to be here and do the work that I do. Beyond grateful. And I also want to talk about, I lost Mavis Patilla, my beloved mentor. We lost Janet Nohavec. I mean, these were incredible mediums and in spiritualists, real spiritualists here. And this all happened in beginning of August, all of it. It was just it's an unbelievable time. Again, Chiron is retrograde. So I started thinking again, who's going to heal the healers? And of course, I'm taken out. And then what happened is I was working with Prajna, was helping me, Prajna Avalon. And, you know, I work a lot with Prajna. We teach a lot of classes together. And I'm sorry for everybody that we had to postpone our Lemuria and Atlantis class. And it is at the end of January, but I promise it'll be great. So, and that's the last time. We're not going to reschedule it again. That was it. Sorry. First, it was because of me, and then because of what happened with Prajna. And what happened with Prajna is the day I went in for my second surgery, she also went in to have a wart removed on the bottom of her foot. And what happened was the doctor there made a near fatal mistake and, really malpractice, and sliced open her foot 4 inches. And I tell the story not to be graphic, but she was a triathlete. It was the bottom of her foot that she was getting this wart removed. And it was really an awful situation, just an awful situation. And she ended up being in the hospital for 6 weeks. So we would call each other from the hospital when I could talk, when she could talk. It was just an unbelievable story. And she, as a healer, has done amazing work in the world. She's always helped the poor, and she's helped people, and she's really an extraordinary healer. But healers need healing themselves and help. So on my website, I started a GoFundMe for her. So if anybody's so inclined, it'll be posted. Carissa's posting it at some time during the show. And if you're so inclined, if you could pass it along and post it and repost it, I'd love to see this with wings flying, because she needs the help. She wasn't able to work for 6 weeks, and her hospital bills are just outrageous. So, and she's a very proud person. She would never, ever, we debated on doing this, but I really felt it was really important that we do it because she needs the help. And I think healers need help, frankly. I mean, they just do. Everybody's human here, right? So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that because I thought that was an important one. Anyway, and Linda says, my son went to the hospital Monday for chest pains and ended up with a stent. And now he's, oh my God, type A diabetic too? Wow, Linda, I'm so sorry. That's the second story that I just heard of I was just talking to my producer, Renee. We just were talking about that. Krista, right? Things have been wild. One thing after another. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Andrea. Thank you. Wow. Okay. So Janet Slee says, Kellee, what's the best way to pray for someone's healing? It's a great question. And it's something that I've recently started, Janet. So you can take a piece of paper and really with intent, write their name and what they're going through. Okay. Write their name, make maybe a round circle or whatever you're drawn to, and ask the question, like, what is it that they need? What are you praying for? And write it down in the circle, and then just keep your hands over it, and then just start praying over them. I think that's a really good thing to do. Okay. Patricia Muller, she says, is a black butterfly a bad sign? I don't have an answer for that. I don't want to have a knee-jerk reaction on that. I don't know if I've ever seen a black butterfly, but I don't know. But we're going to be doing a show on Monday on totems. So, and I know James would say, well, Kellee, what do you think? Let me think about that. Did you see one, Patricia? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Karen, people are angry. That's a fascinating question, Patricia. I have to figure this out. Oh, you found it in your house today. Holy moly. Well, butterflies mean transformation, right? So is there somebody that is transforming their essence, like their darkest shadow side? Maybe that's it. It could be that. Okay. Susie, your daughter's birthday is 11/11. Yeah, that's a really powerful time. A very, very powerful time. Oh my God, Dee, my 4-year-old twin son was just hospitalized with RSV. Oh my gosh, honey, I'm so sorry. I've been hearing so much about that. My granddaughter had it. She's fine now. She fortunately didn't have to go in the hospital. And pneumonia last week, and you never left his side for 5 days. Oh, bless your heart, Dee. Bless your heart. Let's get, oh, I have my angel cards, but there, I put them away. But let's do a message from your guides. How's that, Dee? Because that's a lot, honey. That's a lot for somebody to go through, isn't it? So we're going to use James's messages from the guides. Here we go. Abundance is your right. Here you go, Dee. So, maybe abundance with love, abundance of help, abundance of everything from spirit coming in. I think that's really important, honey. Good for you for staying there. Okay. Krista Constant. Great question, Krista. She says, does Chiron disrupt healers specifically? I've been feeling it a lot. It disrupts everybody because it's the wounded healer, but we all have Chiron in our chart. All of us have it. All of us have some wound that needs to be healed. And so it's not just, it has lately, it's been my experience that it's really disrupted. That's a great word, by the way. Healers, like, boy, really thrown chaos at healers. But it's for everybody. It's whatever your wound is right now, it's going to come out. These eclipses and this eclipse that comes up on November 8th is about yourself. It's about dealing with wounds, dealing with your issues. Who do you want to, it's almost like what qualities do you want to bring into your life? And what do you want to let go of? And what can you heal? I'd like to say everything is possible for healing. And I read this great passage today from my favorite book. And if you guys don't have it, it's called The Quiet Mind. And it's by White Eagle. It's so great. But what he talked about today that I read was, if you think about, if we remain in a negative state. So let's say we remain in this kind of like dark state of negativity and grief and sadness and all that, we forget that there's actually a light above us, heaven, earth, our heaven, God, source, angels, love, all of that. That's really right there. And you just forget that because we get so used to going in that spin cycle, and we've got to break out of that spin cycle. We've got to, because this is such a great opportunity in this lifetime to do your Dharma work. And when you do your Dharma work, it's heaven, because you're doing what your soul came to do. And this is an amazing time for this. So Kate Daniels, I was born in August of 63. Oh, my goodness gracious, honey. Wow. Wow. So you were born, I was 6 when you were born. Wow. August of 63. Can you imagine that period of time? Yeah. Yeah. Anybody who was born in 63. My brother was born in July of 63. And it was an intense time. Yeah, Kat, that was assassination of Kennedy during that time of 63. So when I talk about going back to 1963 with these planets, Saturn and Jupiter, these are social planets, means they change the course of our destiny. They change it. And we came here for a lot of change, and there's going to be a ton of change. So Connie says, moving forward, hi, Connie Fogel. Moving forward, I need advice for my mediumship business. Okay, I want to offer spirit art and develop classes online. Will this be successful, Kellee? And what is a good timing to put my website up? Oh, honey, yes, 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 I have chills. Yes, absolutely. How cool is that? Oh, you have to let me know when you do that. That's really an amazing thing. See, that can be your Dharma work, Connie. That could be your Dharmic work. I mean, that sounds like a lot of passion and so amazing. The timing for that is not now. The timing for that is probably not this moment. And I'll tell you why. Let's let this energy of all these eclipses, this is more of a time to go, I have the idea, I want to do this. With Mars retrograde, it's going to slow things down, and with business. So you know how when Mars is direct, it's like go, 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 and here we go, and off we go, and da, da, da. When it's retrograde, it's going to cause calamity. So I don't want to set you up for failure, because I think it's extraordinary, and definitely do it, honey. Definitely do it. Better time would be maybe the beginning of the year. That would probably be a better time for it. This is not, even though we're going to have a new moon, and again, Vedic astrology, it's going to be in Scorpio, still not a time. I think this energy is not a time to start a business. It would be if you had already done it, say a month ago, or that may have been, but now, no, I would say January. Okay. Bright Elizabeth Preston, we're having beautiful weather. I know she doesn't live far from me, and I love this weather. We're having the best weather. Yeah, Marge, of course it happens on election day. Is it a good change? Amy says, well, ultimately, I could say, ultimately we're here to all grow and evolve. So if I look at the change from that point of view, I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't think anybody knows exactly what's going to happen. I mean, but because the political climate is so insane, but we're going to see some change here. We just are. Hi, John. Okay, Karen Bennett. Yes, you can get a mini reading. So 5/12. So your birthday, Karen Bennett, your birthday is on May 12th. So May 12th is a 7 of diamonds. And a 7 of diamonds in May actually makes you a Gemini. I know you think you're a Taurus, but in Vedic astrology, you are a Gemini. And so communication would be everything for you, actually. And a 7 of diamonds. I'm going to tell you this, honey, don't worry. But let's get a message from your guides for you, okay? 7 of diamonds tend to worry a lot. So let's not worry here. Oh, here you go. Ask for guidance. Well, you did. And I love that. Your guides clearly have a good sense of humor. I would do this. I would sit in the silence and ask your own guides and your higher self, what's the next step to take? Ask for guidance that way. Okay, I think that would be a good thing. Mary Ski, my husband passed away last month at home. Sorry, Mary. About 15 minutes, 4 hawks were flying low over my yard. Wow, I thought this was him giving me a message. 100% it was. Can a spirit communicate that quickly after leaving the body? Thank you. Yes, they can. You betcha they can. All of a sudden lights go off, or big balls of energy move by, or the birds. Yeah, absolutely. That was a message from him. And let's get a message from your loved one right now for you. I'm sorry that happened, honey. But we'll see. A lot of souls probably are going to begin the idea of leaving because we're going into a new phase in life, actually. And this is a period of time where the portal opens up. So people that may have decided this is too much for them, they've had enough, or it's just their number is up. It's their time. Okay, Mary, here we go. Oh, I am so much better now, he says. Okay, honey, if you could see this card. Am I doing this right? Here you go. I'm so much better now. Oh, that was definitely him. Pay attention to our show on Monday night, because Monday night I'm going to be talking about, we're going to be doing totems. And in fact, it was a great question. Okay. And let me say somebody asked me this question. I don't know have the name because oh, here we go. Nope. I did not get this. I don't know who asked me this question, but it was, what does a buffalo totem mean? At one time, not so long ago, I had a great affinity with them, getting really up close and personal with one in Yellowstone. Okay, so I love buffaloes too. I just love them. And so I kind of wanted to show you this picture of a buffalo. Here we go, of some of my buffaloes. If you can see it. I have this buffalo and I have this buffalo that I got in Taos, New Mexico. I think I got them both in Taos, New Mexico. I have my stepmother lives in Taos, and I love Taos. But I love buffaloes. I think they are so amazing. So I'll tell you right now what buffalo totem is, because I think it's really important that you ask that question, because buffalo totem helps us carry difficult burdens. And it reminds us that self-care during times of, like great stress is essential. You have to take care of yourself. And buffalo gives us the strength to not only deal with our problems, but it helps us to accept working on our problems too. So there's an acceptance with it. So good. I'm glad that I got to mention that. So Groovy Gal. Hi, Kelly. I love Groovy Gal. Oh my gosh. Cheryl Allen. Oh, that's your birthday on 11/19. That's going to be a powerful day, 11/19. Just, relax on that day, because that's when Mars is squaring your Neptune. It's a dreamy day. Oh, and Kay, your birthday too. Yeah, that's a powerful day. Sarah Hicks, family issues going crazy. Yeah, I believe that. We'll see a lot of that. Yeah, what happens is during this time, it kind of brings out everybody's crazy. It just does. The eclipses can really bring intense energy out. The reason astrologers use eclipses to actually do prediction is because of the energy of the eclipse. Eclipses tell a story, actually. And I believe that the story that these two eclipses are going to tell are about relationships and the individual, and how we are put in trying times. How do we respond in trying times? And I think everybody who's human will have their test of how do you respond during a trying time. Some of us pass, some of us fail. I didn't think I was going to pass the last time. I was whining and crying and carrying on, but I passed. I didn't pass away, but I passed the test. Okay, Terry Timmerman, this whole year has been terrible. I can't disagree with that, Terry. Many friends with major life-threatening issues, me too, and I'm sick of constantly finding Mr. Wrong. Any advice for you and for my friends? Yes, Mr. Wrong, they're the worst, aren't they? Pay attention. You know the red flags. As soon as you feel, first of all, what are you looking for? Be really clear with what you're looking for, okay? And read the room. Like, it'd be hard-pressed to get past me at this point. You have to really read the room. And you want to look for things like, are they married? Do they do drugs? Do they drink? Do they Are they a narcissist? I mean, really, just do the whole thing, and you'll pick Mr. Wrong until you learn that lesson. That's how that works. It's not rocket science. It just is. You want to put in your prayer circle for that is you want nice, and you really, somebody who's kind, decent, good. You have to start really programming yourself to get that. Okay. As soon as somebody says, hey, darling, run. Okay. Okay. So here we go. Chrissy says, I had the hardware taken out of my elbow 3 weeks ago. Oh my gosh, honey, everything went absolutely fine. Thank heavens is right. Oh my gosh, thank heavens is right. That's a big one, right? That is a big one. I also have a question. I have a great Renee Hounsel. Hi, Renee. I hope you're out there because I want to answer this question. She said, oh, Kellee, grateful for you. Yay. Thank you. She said, everybody cherishes Thursdays. Thank you so much. Okay, here's your question. Renee said, I've been recognizing very clearly souls from before this life. I had a few experiences in a dream state with one specifically. So what she's saying is, while she's dreaming about souls that are not in this lifetime, but souls that she's had a lifetime with before. And she says, does the veil being so thin, because the veil has been very thin, especially the 31st and now the 1st of November, and it's still lingering thin. Does the veil being thin have to do with the other side communication? Yes, it does. It makes it a lot easier. I can tell you that. And can it make souls in the living experience connect on another level of awareness? Absolutely. And so you're aware, you would be aware, and you're such an aware person just in general, Renee, but you would be aware that I know this soul and it wasn't in this lifetime. It was in another previous lifetime. We did this together or we did that together. Absolutely. And in fact, when we pass, in there, we go meet with our loved ones and our guides, and we, just meet with our people that we've known. We will also see people from previous lives. Now, we won't recognize them necessarily up front because we've just come from, this lifetime. But if you're open enough, there would be a connection. You would feel the connection, the energetic connection. Whether time and space it doesn't count, doesn't matter. That time and space, it doesn't matter. You're still there. So it's a great question, Renee, and I so appreciate that question. Yes. Okay. Sarah Stone. Hi, Sarah. I retired in 2020. Yay. And my finances look good. Now, not so much. I'm concerned. Do you see things getting better for us retired folks soon? I think that we're going to go into a recession. I do. But having said that, I think we do. I think in about 6 months, it gets better. So it's kind of going to be like this, and then it's kind of curves back up again. So don't worry, Sarah. Okay. It does get better. It will get better. Not today or tomorrow, but mid 2023, things start to pull up again. Okay. I mean, this is just a rough time, but then it does get better. Okay. Okay, Facebook user, what do you think about the asteroids that could come close to Earth? They said one that was a mile long was hiding behind the sun's glare. Oh, yeah. I feel that I'm not worried about that. And I'll tell you why. The other side, we could use any term you want to say, the universe, God, Jesus, whatever word you want to use to fit in that blank, doesn't want anything to happen to Earth, okay? So Earth is going to be here. It's been a home for us for a very long time. And whether it would be Source on the other side preventing some major catastrophe, or, I've heard this theory and it wouldn't surprise me, alien encounter, something like that, stopping it. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not. Archangel Michael, I love Archangel Michael. So anyway, so that's how I feel. So the good question, thanks, Krista, is who heals the healers? So thank you for bringing that all the way around. Who heals the healers we all heal each other. Like, I was so uplifted. I read everything that I could when I was able to, because I was pretty out of it. But I knew that you all were praying for me, and that really makes a big difference. It honestly makes a big difference. And I was working with, I have a couple of, my dear friend Judy was helping me. My doctor, I had 2 doctors helping me. And my husband, of course, Don, was fantastic helping me. And I think that all the healers, and by the way, all the healers that I was working with all had issues at the time. except for Judy didn't, but I think she does now, but she didn't then. And we all kind of pulled our resources, energy together. And I think that's the answer there. So who heals the healers? Well, I think we still, and I'm telling you, I know that Mavis is watching over all of her students, all of her mentees, all the ones that she loved. I know she is. I mean, listen, she's busy. She's having the best time, I'm sure, on that side. But yeah, so anyway, so here we go. And if anybody would like to help Prajna, again, the GoFundMe is on both sides now and beyond, and it's also on my website. Okay, Christy Henley, my sister ended up in the psych ward and my younger brother in the hospital on a vent. Oh, Christy, honey, I'm so sorry. That's awful, awful. That's a tough one. God, especially with siblings, that's a tough one. Well, it's tough with anybody. Diane and Tim, hi. We are also thrilled. Thank you. I so appreciate it. Okay. Mira Vest. Hi, Mira. She said, when my mom was actively dying, she mentioned seeing a table full of food. She was seeing another something that I couldn't see. Another person we knew also actively dying mentioned seeing food too. It makes me think that there was a table being set for my mom by my grandmother who passed away before her. Is there a party on this other side getting ready for us when it's time? You bet. Yes, yes, yes. I have actually seen and snuck in to such parties, actually. And I say snuck in because I tried every which way, every angle how to get in. And at one point, I remember there were laughter and food tables, and I'm trying to sneak in, and they're like, sorry, you can't come in. You're like not invited. It didn't hurt my feelings, but kind of pissed me off because I wanted to go in and see my loved ones that I couldn't see. Yeah, they set tables. It's amazing. Did you ever see, what's that movie? And I'm sorry that I'm forgetting the name of the movie where Meryl Streep and, oh my God, and they're eating pasta like this. It's such a good movie. What's it called? Saving Your Life? Or I forget what it's called. Such a good movie. But yeah, they do party on that. They party over there with a lot of food. So, okay. What's the message from moths? Well, Melinda, moths, we're going to talk about moths. Thank you for asking. I'll definitely, make a note to answer that because moths also bring transformation. Moths, black butterflies, I will look at them all on Monday's show. But so I appreciate you said that. Okay, Phyllis said, I saw a dead black dragonfly after a friend died. Wow, Phyllis, that's huge. Okay, well, that would be the message. I mean, that's a huge, dragonflies bring transformation. Black dragonfly after a friend died. That's that would be a rough one. We have, so it sounds like an awful thing to say, but today I got up really early this morning and took really pretty pictures of the sunrise. It was just really so beautiful, like this pink haze. So beautiful, the sky. Anyway, then later in the afternoon, I walked out. I was going to take my dogs out for a walk. And in our farm, but we lease the land, I look out and there was a dead deer. So somebody had actually, it's bow and arrow season here. I'm from LA. It doesn't work for me. But it was just broke my heart. So I have to assume that some message here. I have to assume that. But anyway, yeah, I think animals give us signs, Allison says, speaking of totems, I've been getting signs of dragons lately. Just wondering if you know what that means. Seen one in a fire when praying. So a dragon actually is a totem. It's a really big totem, honey. So I'm going to talk about that. Thank you for saying that, actually. All of a sudden you'll get a picture of a dragon or something. And that happened to me a while back. I cannot remember off the top of my head. Canchetta, apparel. Yes, you can get a card. Let's get one from your guides. How's that? How is that? It says, appreciate your talents. Okay, Canchetta, appreciate your talents, honey. Okay, your guides are with you. Okay. Nunya, my husband fell on a fence and broke his sternum. 2 ER trips, crazy times. Okay, you're the second person in 2 days that I've heard that story about. So, Dawn, if you're listening, please do not be climbing up on that ladder. Oh my God. Okay. Amazing. Jody Felicini, she said, I found a Mexican coin in my laundry room while shaking out a pair of pants, which have no pockets. I haven't been to Mexico for years. What does this mean? A trip to Mexico, clearly. You're going, girl. I'll go with you. I miss Mexico so much. That is wild. Oh, it's definitely a guide having fun here. I would say you probably, honestly, I bet you go to Mexico, maybe a cruise. That's a great one. Thank you for saying that. Okay, Bonnie Bond. Hi, Bonnie. Do we have bodies in spirit? A couple of mediums told me that those in the afterlife can if they want. Absolutely. It's called light bodies. I think there's a period of time once we pass and we get on the other side. I've heard it say 40 days. I really don't know. But it's a period of time where we are in our light body and adjusting to the other side, actually. And then there are all kinds of ways for our essence of our soul to be. So does it need to be in a body? It could be traveling around. It's our energy. But yeah, often there's a light body. You betcha. You bet. Carol Hempstead Sloot. She said, hi, Kellee. Glad you're back. I'm recovering from COVID. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. I have more people with long haul COVID. So damnedest thing. Is it possible to get a card? Yes. My father-in-law just passed away recently and I started a new job. Okay. And your birthday is 8/30. So 9 of hearts. God bless you. 9 of hearts does not take an easy path. It's just not an easy path. I often find more therapists, and I find some lawyers too with the 9 of hearts. Often a lot of therapists, frankly. But okay, let's get you a card from your father-in-law. Okay, yeah, let's get you a card here from him. Okay, I get the sense he's around all of your family. Here we go. Oh, we have been together in dreams. So make sure you tell everybody that he's coming to you in your dreams. See the sky right here? And it kind of looked like my house this morning. I like that. I'll have to remember this one. I have to keep that one out. D, Terry, this too shall pass. What's meant to be will be in there hanging. Absolutely. Okay, Beth. She said, I had a dear friend cross over today. I'm sorry, Beth. I'm sorry. He was a dementia Alzheimer's sufferer. His wife is the most wonderful person, and her birthday is 11/8. Oh, I got chills. Let me get you a card from him, even though he's just passed. So let me say this about dementia and Alzheimer's. Once they leave the body, they don't have that anymore. Okay. They don't have that because it's the brain that holds it in. What the soul doesn't suffer like that anymore. And I've often been asked, why would somebody choose Alzheimer's or dementia? Well, it's a lesson for teaching everybody a lot of things. Patience. Maybe the person got kinder after it. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that we don't know, but the soul knows. Okay. And her birthday is 11/8. So that means, that she would have, this is huge transformation time for her, Beth. Huge. So let's get her a card. He says, I see all of your thoughts. I see all of your thoughts. So that's what happens when they pass. And if anybody's had a near-death experience, you can understand this from that perspective. There's no pain. You're on the other side. You're there. You're floating and you're looking around and you're seeing things. And you can see everything. You can see how they feel. You can read the energy. It's a really interesting experience. So, okay, let's see. Groovy Gal, my sister is in a huge legal trouble and I'm battling TNBC cancer. Oh my gosh. And can't afford to financially help her. She has no job, no medical, and needs so much help. That's a tough one. Whatever her karmic path is with that. That's a tough one. Let's get a card for both of you, okay? And this is messages from your guide. So here we go. Okay, this is for her. Learn from your mistakes. So whatever is going on here, her guides are with her as she's going on this journey, really to learn. Legal battles are a nightmare. But she'll get through it. She'll get through it. And this is what I have this for you. I have an attitude of gratitude. Cancer, we call that the Great Awakening. We do. It often affords us a time period of great spirituality. which is ultimately what the soul loves and needs and craves. Okay. Jody W., the animals feel it too. Oh, right on. I mean, I have to have Tammy back on soon to talk about that because that is the truth. Animals feel all of it. My yellow lab was sick 2 weeks ago. He didn't eat for almost a week. Oh, no. This morning, my other yellow lab couldn't walk. Oh, dear. She can't stand up at all. Our pets are the best healers. Yeah, our pets are the best healers. And they're both under veterinary care. Good for you that they're there under the care. They'll pull out of it. But they do feel everything. They feel everything. Okay, Lisa Bloom. Kellee, I really need help with seasonal depression. Lisa, it's so weird that you would say that. I had 3 different people tell me about that today. And they said exactly what you're saying. Every fall, about now, I start to dread the cold, dark days of winter. Gosh, living in the Midwest and didn't have this on the sunny West Coast. I think I can relate to that. Is it something to be endured for me? I use light therapy and do exercises. Can you help? I would say definitely. Do you have I know you're doing light therapy. Do you have that clock that wakes you up with all the light? I have to have light to wake up. I just do. And I fortunately don't have seasonal depression, but I don't have that. But everybody I know does. So let's see, what can you do? Let me think about that, Lisa, of what else. Have you seen a holistic doctor? A holistic person would really be able to help you with that. A holistic doctor, maybe a holistic remedy, a homeopathic remedy would probably help. But I've seen this with so many people where they really start to dread that time and those dark days of winter. For me, what I did, and I got this from Jordy, who's one of James's other best friends, and she's wonderful. And she said to me, she lives in Ohio. And Jordy said, I said, what am I going to do? How do I leave, California and move to the Midwest? And I said, what happens in winter? And she said to me, winter is when my soul renews. She said that, and I went, okay. And that's the attitude that I put into it. But Lisa, let me think about that too. I would suggest a homeopathic remedy. It would probably help you a lot. Okay, exercise, yoga, everything that you can. Drink a green drink every day. I know that's a tough one, honey. I know that. Okay, Mira Vest. I've also been dreaming about black bears a couple of nights in a row. How interesting. The first one there was 6 large black bears roaming the streets. And the second dream, they were in a sort of a cage in my backyard. Curious what that means. Well, there's 2 ways I can look at that dream. I mean, definitely black bear is trying to get your attention. I would say this is definitely a totem for you. And black bear is about security. It's about feeling secure. And bears bring us security. So I'm going to write that one down. And I'll talk about that on Monday. And now if I look at the dream from a psychological standpoint, from a homeopathic place, where the cage is in the bears were in a cage. If you're so in a homeopathic, the way I do it that way, they say the belief is you're every part of the dream. Are you in a cage? Do you feel like you're caged up? Because the other bears are free running around. What is it for you that you feel caged up? So we'll talk about black bears. Okay. Krista, thank you for answering that. I'm healing from a concussion and finally did a meditation last night. It helped wonders. Oh, honey, been there, done that. I'm sorry that you have a concussion. Make sure you get really great healing and bring in all kinds of light into the brain. Lots of healing light into your brain, honey. Okay. And meditation is what ultimately would heal my brain. Ultimately. Heather, you were born on October 31st. Wow, that's a powerful day. Powerful day. Lots going on here. Okay, Christy, my son is transgender male now and won't communicate with me, even though I've always tried to understand and to communicate with him. I see a lot of this now too, from children not speaking to their parents to transgender. I've seen all of this. give it some time, send a lot of prayers and energy of love, and always keep the door open. Okay. Always keep the door open, because I don't know what the backstory is, but regardless, you want to keep that door open and send a lot of love. Let me get you a card from the guides here. Okay. Hold on a minute. I already did that one. Okay. So live your bliss from the guides, which means this, Christy, even though there's a situation, and I know as a mother, that's a tough one, but even though there's a situation, you still want to live your life and bring up your vibration and your attitude for everything. Okay. He'll come around. He'll come around. Okay. Charlene Miller, questioning of false prophets. A pastor took advantage of my compassion. I hate when that happens. He is all about money and plays on people who are having a hard time financially. That's disgusting. He's been trying to take my home. Will I be able to prevail and overcome this? Oh, Charlene, this is the time. Stand up to that asshole. I'm being so kind as I say that. Really stand up. Damn. Don't let anybody set boundaries. And raise your vibration, honey. Okay, what does that mean? It means to stay away from that kind of negative, that type of person. Okay, that's terrible. Okay, let's see. Oh, thank you. Wanda says you're a helping gift, almost a cheerleader for a losing team. That's hilarious. I am, Wanda. And that's so funny because I actually wanted the Astros, but Don got the other team. But anyway, okay, Wanda, here's your card. Practice moderation. Practice moderation. Okay? So whatever that means in your life, practice that. Okay, Renee Hounsell. Hi, Renee. I see Chiron as an opportunity to practice the guidance I have given others. So true. It's an experience of humility. We walk our talks as a healer, and you're an incredible healer. It's so true. Boy, is that the truth. To remember what it's like to need healing and be of better service. That's the truth. Oh, I've got chills. I really appreciate you saying that, because that is the truth. I mean, oh my gosh, so true here. And I'm going to take the last question. Hi, Lori Counts. Hi, Lori. Kellee, during the eclipse, should crystals go outside? Okay. Not during this eclipse. This is not a time, okay? It's better to stay inside, actually. The Vedics had a practice of eclipse, and the practice was this. They actually didn't eat for like 24 hours. They would fast. They'd go to meditation. They'd go to their temple. They'd pray. But no, this is not, it's a great, thank you for asking that question. It's better to actually probably stay inside, especially on November 11th. Like if you go out and vote, go early, unless obviously if you have to work and you can't get there till later. But a lot of people are doing voting earlier on anyway. But yeah, I would stay in. Thank you for asking that. It's really a time to stay in. So everybody, if you can, join James and me on Monday at Both Sides Now and Beyond at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I have to stop and think. That was the thing about moving to the Midwest. I have to really be conscious with the time. And we're going to talk about totems. And it's going to be great. And if you get a chance, please check out the GoFundMe that I've set up for Prajna Avalon, who does need some help during this time. And I will be back next week. And next week, we'll be talking about your questions. I'll be doing readings for people. We'll just make an hour of it, and it'll be great. So that's next Thursday. So please join me on Ask Me Anything. And thanks, everybody. Thanks for everything. And I'll see you on Monday. Take care.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.